Hey Virgo, welcome to your June reading. I've just reset up my laptop. It's getting a bit hot, so I had to take a break. I ate a burrito, and here we are recording you. The sun is it's coming into winter, so the sun's quite low in the sky, and I thought I could get away with recording outside, but it's now low and in front of me, and so I'm wearing shades. Sorry you can't see my beautiful eyes. Anyways, I'm using 3 decks today. I am using Practical Magic. These are all new decks as well. Until I started these readings, I hadn't used them for anything other than personal readings so far, just to have a little play with them. But yeah, I'm loving them so far. I've also using, which one is, Lucy Cavendish Solitary Witch deck as well. Ooh, they're jumping around a bit. It's pretty. Okay, apparently that one's come out too. These ones feel really stiff for you, Virgo. We're gonna go with this one. Oh, interesting. Okay. And then I'm using the Mystical Realm Tarot for the main tarot deck. This deck actually, I ordered a deck for my mum. It's for a Mother's Day hamper. It was actually another deck that I wanted, but I didn't realize they had it named as this deck, but the imagery that I was actually going by of the cards that I felt were right for my mum, it was a totally different deck. So I received this in the mail, not the one that I thought I was receiving. So I opened it up and I had a look, and you know what? I put them in my hands and I was like, this is my deck. So that one. So here we are. They're my deck now, but they feel so good in my hands and so smooth. It's interesting. I've never had ones like this either. They're yellow on the outside. But yeah, I kind of like them. So let's see what they have in store for us, Virgo. Interesting. So you have Be Kind and Charming, paired with She Was Once a Selkie. Very interesting. I kind of get this sense of being compassionate and empathetic during this time, and realize your sensitivity. Actually, I kind of want you to show your vulnerable side. I feel like you have a side of yourself that you don't necessarily kind of embody as much as you probably should, at least more present times. I feel like this is something that could be benefiting you during this time. I feel like by nurturing that kind of softer, gentle side of yourself can have its benefits. And I feel like for you, you're kind of surrounded by a lot of love, a lot of nurturing kind of energy right now. So by you're kind of in this safe space to be vulnerable, a safe space to kind of show who you are and what you desire. And allow that to sort of come to the surface. It's like showing people actually who you really are and what you want. I know that's exactly what I just said in different words, but I mean as in like very literally, people can really see what you're about. And I feel like Virgo sometimes, I think it's kind of a Virgo trait of being more of the life of the party, and by being that role, sometimes we're not really showing our authentic self, but more like just being who we need to be in that moment, which is not a bad thing. It has its perks, but I just feel like for you, what is beneficial during this time is by showing the actual genuine self of who you are to people you care for, especially in relationships. I feel like by being more of a softer side, showing the soft side, but being kind of like in the way you're communicating, the way that it's like understanding a partner from a different level as well. And I feel like actually this isn't for that reason though, but it's like by doing that, you're enabling kind of your partners to feel seen, but also to see a side of you that is very real, that's very raw, that is there, and authentic to who you are. That I feel like this could next level you in relationships, in friendships, rather than it just being, people to have fun with. It feels like it's more deeper, and it's about making things be deeper. Again, by being empathetic to other people, by showing that you are a loving person, and all of that jazz, because you really are. It's there, it's in you. But again, it's just about what we show and what we wear on the outside. Be your charming self. Interesting. We have the Eight of Swords in the first card, and the Eight of Swords kind of can be like you're in a situation where you may even be feeling like you're stuck, that you can't see the way forward. But the thing is, like, it's very clear if you actually looked at it objectively, it'd be very clear on what decisions to make. In the imagery on the Eight of Swords, you see she's surrounded by kind of daggers, and she's kind of in a cage of daggers. However, she's not. They're just surrounding her sides and the back, so she could walk forward and be away from this situation if she just stepped forward, right? But she's blindfolded. Her focus is not really on her surroundings and more so on what she feels her surroundings are, from what she's it's like kind of looking at something, and this is what I was just saying about looking at something on surface level. It looks a certain way, but if you actually pay attention, you realize it's not that way. This kind of card is giving me that. So this very much could be resonating with what I just said about the previous cards, but also really if you're in any situation that's making you feel a little bit sticky and gooey is what I want to say. Then you're actually not stuck though, and you very much can easily move on from this situation should you give it your attention. So bear that in mind if there's anything that's kind of feeling like you're stuck or feeling hard, and this could very much be being more authentic with who you are. That can be really hard for some people, and I kind of get that with this card, with the energy that it's giving me. It could be that you don't see a benefit of being avoid, or don't see a way of how you can allow yourself to be that. And it's saying if you actually just try, you'll probably find it's a lot easier than you suspect. But again, you've been tied up and in this way for so long. Be kind to yourself first and foremost within that kind of energy. From that, we're moving on to the Page of Cups in reverse. So definitely this feel of not, it's like not one, no, it doesn't feel right. It's like something is preventing you from doing something. I would say this Page of Cups would seem as though you're not willing to explore, or you maybe not explored it. It might not be not willing, but if that resonates with you, it's like not willing to. If you're not willing to try and put effort in, you're going to remain stuck, remain stagnant. That's what I feel with this. It's like an energy that you're sitting in. And again, you can very well explore it and you'll realize that the potential is there. It's within you, it's external to you, whichever the situation be that you feel is sticky and stucky. I feel as though it's very simple. There's something to do with fish is catching my eye in this. So there could be Pisces, or a water sign, any water sign actually. And even potentially air and water. So maybe if there's somebody with air and water in their charts, this could be a little hint towards the situation, or maybe even somebody who may be something you're moving towards as well. With that being said, it could be a situation that is much more go with the flow, more easygoing, and it could be a way for you to be more easygoing, whereas perhaps potentially you've not allowed yourself to be in this energy. It's kind of saying, this is what we want you to do a bit more. How about we explore that way of being? Comment below and let me know if you have anything on that resonates with you, because I'm quite interested in how that kind of energy might apply to you, Virgo. Okay, Knight of Pentacles upright. Okay, so for me, instantly as soon as I see this, I'm like, if you get on this kind of wavelength and if you start exploring your options, possibilities, that you're really going to be surprising yourself. I feel like financially you could be better positioned. So it's kind of like by exploring something that might be out of your comfort zone, you're kind of reaping the rewards from taking that leap, is what I would say this card's sort of giving me. I do feel as though, again, in relationship-wise, these cards altogether are kind of being like, if you show your vulnerability, you'll have a really loyal companion. And it being beneficial to you, again, all around, like abundance. I'm kind of feeling as though, like a partnership. It's like combining finances, for example, moving in together. If you're both paying a rent, it could even be friendships, not necessarily relationships, but it's like combining something where you realize you are both better off financially, and in a better position to enjoy yourselves. It's kind of a bit like that. And I do feel like you are very protective of this kind of energy. So it's like once you've reached that, you'll realize that it's worth it, and you'll want to kind of keep a hold of that as well. We have the Queen of Pentacles straight after this as well. So it's definitely on the right path with this kind of energy. we're moving on from yellow skies to blue skies. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but I felt the need to point that out. So take that as it resonates. For me, I would interpret that as being as though things may, for a time, have felt a little bit risky, but they'll pay off, or they have payoff, or they're starting to pay off. Definitely financially, I feel an increase coming for you, Virgo. Things are flourishing. It's like building a life is becoming to kind of come into fruition now. You're starting to see results. From this Queen of Pentacles, I'm kind of getting a little bit of feeling on top of things as well. So there could have been a time where you felt as though you're struggling here. I would say in terms of financially, it's a time of not struggling, I would say, with that energy. Interesting. Definitely a lot of prosperity coming for you, or feeling of comfort anyway, because there's greens over here. I don't know, I haven't looked at this card other than instantly I'm like, even more green. I just feel like it's a great time for love, abundance, finances, all that prosperous stuff. Outer Wisdom, Merlin's Temple. This is paired with the other conversations. Sorry, I can't read because the sun is so bright. The other conversations. Interesting. I am definitely getting a vibe of relationships coming through quite strong for you, Virgo. I do feel like there's a lot of wisdom coming from external sources. And again, relationship-wise, I would say that your partner is very wise in this. Let me just take a sip of my drink. I kind of feel this sense of your partner really being a supportive asset for you, but also having a lot of wisdom. This could be that you're entering territory in a relationship where you have not been before, or maybe not even in this way. Obviously apply it to yourself and your situation. It's a sneeze now. Bless me, I can feel that one building. I would say that your partner is a very great ally to have by your side for that reason, if that applies to you, because it just feels as though they come like more comforting, more knowledgeable, and it kind of makes it easier for you transitioning. I do feel like communication is key, and like in the beginning where I was saying, by you communicating, by you being open and more vulnerable, it's opening you up to better times. And I feel like there could be conversations for you. We've come out of Mercury now. We're still in the shadow, but coming into June, the shadow is gone now. So by the time you'll listen to this, there'll be no more Mercury shadow. So I feel like communication should be a lot easier than prior to this. And I do think that there is definitely somebody supporting you. In both of these cards, there's an owl in the conversation one, and it's like by having conversations, it's going to help you see things differently, more clearly, or just by listening to maybe the advice of others as well, might help gain some clarity. And again, that leads on to the cards I just read with the Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. These keywords are kind of above that and this next column. I would say more the next keywords are the next, so maybe, yeah, to do with these last ones. Sorry, I'm intuiting as I'm doing it and saying it, and it's definitely pulling me back towards what I've just said. There's definitely divine wisdom. I feel as though like there's just some kind of key wisdom for you. It's like things falling into place, but again, it's a time for you for taking in information, and again, I would say listening to those who support you during this time. And again, having conversations with people, even if it's not what we want to hear, or if it's wrong and irrelevant, there's wisdom there, and the wisdom is what you hear from yourself. You know, when someone's talking a load of rubbish, perhaps being racist or some kind of really negative thing that we like oppose, that builds something in yourself where if you're anything like me, have conversations in your head, righting all of the wrongs, and you realize you gain like a new perspective in yourself based on an interaction even with somebody of negative references, right? So I kind of feel like, again, there's just communication and conversations that can help you to gain clarity in some area of your life. I'm going to read the next keywords before reading the final two columns. I feel like that's how it needs to be read. We have Lady of Fire. I love the Lady of Fire. I had her when I first did this reading. It's the energy that we're working with at the moment. I did a personal reading. I just picked up the cards and just sort of said, okay, what do I need to hear? It's kind of to do with the energy we're working with now is what I was asking. And she came up sort of in future sense, and she's here for you, and I would say very similar. So it's definitely the energies that we're working with here. And she's paired with transcendent amidst the everyday. Um, this step up, so I feel like it's time to take action. It's about ignoring the gossip, kind of ignoring anything, again, toxic and negative, and you owning your truth. It's holding your key, it's like holding your keys close to your heart, like all of what you have close to your heart, living authentically true to yourself, and literally ignoring the noise around you that might tell you it's not right or have some kind of input that's irrelevant to you. This card, I feel as though it's like you know exactly where you're going, and that's all your focus needs to be on. And it's a really passionate time for you to be living in that energy and feeling that energy. And I do feel like all of this coming to you at the moment is helping to actually support and build you into that energy. Definitely messages coming to you in wisdom. Again, this is in this imagery. I'll show you what I'm looking at. I don't know what you'll see. I cannot see the camera and I can't see the lighting, how it is, because it's just in my face. So hopefully you saw that. But she is holding a dagger close to her heart. Her hair is basically flame-like. She has flames all around her. It's kind of chaotic, and it's like being in the calm in the chaos. It's like if you know where you're going, you're comfortable with who you are and where you're at. It doesn't matter about the chaos around you. You're able to overcome what you need to and move forward. Transcendent amidst the everyday. To me, I would say there's something to learn in the everyday we take. Virgo, I have now got a tickly throat, so I apologize. I've been feeling like my throat's starting to get a little bit of a sore throat, and my son woke up saying he had a sore throat this morning. So I think I'm about to get sick, and I don't want to. I think I just missed this. My kids are sick for like 10 days, and I think I missed the most of that. Like I had a little bit of a runny nose, and it was fine. I don't want to get sick. It's so hard being a single parent when you're sick. Anyway, this transcendent emits in every day. I'll try and say it again without needing to cough. I feel as though there's magic and beauty in each day, and it's kind of as though what it's giving me, there's something to learn in each day, but also I feel for you very much, it's like each day is a journey for you at the moment. With me saying that, I feel as though all the decisions you make and the way that you're interacting and being are quite relevant to the world you're creating for you. So be mindful of what you are giving your time and energy. We have the Chariot in reverse, which is quite interesting. I'm actually going to read this different. I'm being drawn to read these in pairs. So parallel to that is the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So there's definitely a change in path, a change in the way things are being done. I think that you are undergoing changes for sure. And this feels really like really good growth for you as a person. So this could be a time where you might feel really in tune, or the opposite, you might feel really like overwhelmed. It can be either. You feel either divinely connected or overwhelmed. And again, it's because there's growth and learning here. I feel like this could be different for different people depending on circumstance here. But I feel as though like you are going on a journey and you're not quite there yet. I do feel as though it's quite floaty, as though there's not actually a direction to take. More so again, living each day, and just kind of living presently in the moment and gaining from it what you have in this moment. I feel as though there's not really needing to be a goal as much as appreciating this moment. And that could be, again, because like I'm going to use the relationship thing because it was very solid through most of this reading. About if you are moving in with a partner, let's say, maybe this is something you overthink and really kind of have put on a pedestal to the point where you're not necessarily going to take the risks. And like you would more... Sorry, what? Yeah. I'm going to restart that. So, for example, in relationships, moving in with somebody, you may over plan, like it's like a future thing, it's a goal, it's something we'll work towards. Now, well, the way that the energy feels like for you, Virgo, is like you need to not overthink. We want to live together, that's what we want in our lives. Move in together, take that step. It's telling you to be present in this moment and take those risks. The astrology we're working with at the moment is saying that if something scares you, if it makes you uncomfortable, then take that risk, take that leap, because that's going to get you exactly where you want to be. And the only thing that holds us back generally are our fears, and fears are just made up worries. They're not actually factual risk preventers, things that are protecting us. It's just us worrying. That's what a fear is. Obviously, you should know the difference between something that's putting your life at risk and something that is just you hindering yourself from growth. And this is exactly it. It's telling to live presently. Stop putting things in the future. Stop putting it on a pedestal as though someone has to meet a standard. It's about being present and going for what you want now. In the future, in the last cards, I'm going to go with that in the future positions, because it seems like this is future based in terms of if you want to see the future, you got to live presently. We have the Lovers in reverse and the Five of Pentacles in reverse. I definitely get this sense of what you're going through now is like the opposite of what you want. So it's telling you to live presently in order to get what you desire. This is like giving me energy of like no more questioning how someone feels, no more questioning whether or not they care enough, and living on the outside looking in at your own relationships. I feel like this is an energy you're shifting from yourself. And so even though these are in the reverse positions, it's sort of giving me as in this is energy we don't want and this is not for us. And it comes by living in the day and changing the way that we do things in order to prevent that. Virgo, as I'm saying this, I feel as though in the past perhaps you've been in situations where something has sabotaged relationships. It's made you again feel as though you're on the outside looking in again of your own relationships. And this is something you need to prevent. And by doing that, it's by changing your way you do things. Again, it was Einstein who says that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And it's definitely that kind of vibe for you, Virgo, that I'm feeling here. It's like if you want to have love, you've got to take risks. If you want to be with someone, jump in and, let them know that. Be vulnerable, because before you were more careful, you were less vulnerable, you had your guards up, and it didn't work because, again, when we are with somebody who doesn't give us themselves from a very authentic level, we never truly know them. And I do think, like, for me, I've left my marriage like a year and a half ago, and I feel like I never actually knew that person, because I think that we both lived in a space where we didn't allow ourselves, because certain things happened, that we were kind of in fight and flight in certain times throughout the relationship. And it was a good relationship, it wasn't bad, I'm not saying that, but I just feel like based on reactions afterwards and how people showed up to me, I feel like sometimes you truly just don't know the person you're with. And that's exactly what I'm feeling here. You don't want that anymore. And by doing that is by being that person for them and for yourself. And in return, that kind of gives other people permission to do the same with you as well. I do feel like when we are more vulnerable with someone, it immediately opens the doors to a deeper connection. And that's what I feel like you are craving. And that's what I want for you, Virgo. So thank you so much for being here. Please comment below if you have any questions or would like to discuss this. Please subscribe to my channel and I'll see you next month. Thank you guys. Hang on, bugs, I gotta press this button.